do, baby? What's up, 5FM family? My name is Zanele Chats, your host on 5 Lunch. But it's not about me. It's about Pride on 5. And it is why we are sitting today with someone who I truly feel like is not just a superstar, but also one of the most beautiful individuals that you will meet. I am talking about the fabulous Chloe. How are you today, my Chloe?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Chloe. I'm so glad that we get to have you with us because honestly, I feel like you aren't just one of the pioneers in South Africa, right? In terms of being bold about who you are and just loving it. But I also feel like you just have this beautiful energy about you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you so
true.
much.
And this
so
is
I guess like the glow energy is like fitting.
But this is the thing. That's actually one of the first things I wanted to ask you. Why glow energy?
Because I'm like very energy conscious. I'm just very esoteric and like I love that kind of way of living life. I can't extrapolate myself from it. It's just who I am now. So it just made sense.
Yes. Yeah. And the name Glow on its own, is it because you were just made to shine?
Oh my gosh, it was actually a coincidence how that name came about. My friend and I were talking because I just like we'd been friends for a while and I was just like, you know, I'm actually like very trans. And they're like, and I was like, I'm trying to find a name that embodies me because I've always had like very mask African names and it just mask African names. And
what, like what?
I can't say that. It's a dead name for a reason.
Oh,
it's dead.
Love that. It's gone, baby.
It's dead, baby.
Yes.
No, but they're very masked. And it's just always been a struggle. And I guess that's where it comes from as well, just growing up and knowing that I'm a trans person and not really having any models to really see myself within. Yeah. You know, like a lot of people grow up having mirrors, like, oh, I feel myself in this person.
100%.
And I didn't really have that. So, but I always felt like my name was not the right fit. It was just too tight. It's like, oh.
Yes. I honestly feel as though, you know, with you being on this path, of course, there's been so many different obstacles that you've had to overcome as a trans person. So can I ask you just about the industry that you find yourself in? What were some of those obstacles that you all had to overcome? And has it come a long way in terms of it being better for trans people now?
I think it's improving.
Okay.
Definitely come a long way because, as I was saying, there was no representation at all. So the fact that I can even be considered in my true essence to take space in the way that I am. I mean, just, y'all trying to interview me.
I mean, we had to call up Glow. We had to call Glow's manager. Who are you?
Like, I don't know. I mean, okay. I guess, you know, I guess it's changing.
Yeah.
Some acknowledgement. Let's give them like, you know, some crumbs. Crumbs. It's better than what it
was before,
but it still has a long way to go. So, but I guess.
And can I ask you, what are some of those things though that you do want to then start to see happening in the specific industries?
I think it shouldn't be an anomaly to see a trans person on TV. It shouldn't be something that has to happen during Pride Month.
That's true. That's true. The shade has been thrown.
The shade.
But it is true.
You know? I
100%.
mean, it should be such a thing that it's just the way it is. It's standard. It's not segregated to certain months.
Yeah.
So that's where the true power and change is. That's where we need it to be at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it's the norm.
Where it is the way of life. Where it just is varied. You see how varied the houses behind me are, the trees.
Yes.
It's like the colors. Like you see there's some white there, there's some blue. Come on, child.
Yes.
You know, I need it to be like that to really embody what it means to be alive, to mirror what the world looks like.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're moving in the direction, but it needs to happen more, like you're saying, at the end of
Completely,
the day.
100%. We need it on 100.
Now, I'm so grateful that we've been having such a beautiful vibe, right? And we're also going to finish this off as a nice, you know, on a very high note. But I did also want to talk about, you know, some very serious things. And this is even something that I want to host a little bit of a round table for, because I feel like it's something that's so important. So I think just over the last year, especially at the beginning of the year, we saw a lot of killings happening, particularly around the LGBTQIA plus community. And for me, I was kind of just like, you know what? Firstly, it's disgusting. I think anyone in the world knows that. But I wanted to know, how can we be actual allies? So it's all good and well to be like, I'm an ally, but how do we then actually really do that, in your opinion, Chloe?
I think it's also making noise. I think a lot of times we're so desensitized to people's struggles, to people's pain, people's deaths now as well, especially Black people's deaths, to be quite specific, because it's strongest there. So I think that kind of desensitization to pain and death is what gets people to just scroll past another death, and that's not how change happens. We need to mobilize. We need to get the numbers going. Because that's the only way. People only measure real value in numbers now, which is kind of tragic. Still a few people that, but it's the way things are now, and we need the numbers, we need the retweets, we need the actual voices, because that's how we actually even got to trans people getting some type of actual acknowledgement. It
People
shouldn't
with a
have even, it's with the vocal voices that are coming up, like more of them, and it's just like people are getting it now, that it's like, it's not okay for you to be nasty and think that there's no consequence. It's not a norm now to think that you're just gonna get away with thinking that because you said something like that and it's so rude and you think it's funny and that's enough. No, it's not enough anymore to be a jerk.
100%.
And that's what we need. We need numbers.
You're someone who's in advertising, of course, and you also are just a creator as a whole. Honestly, your creativity.
Creative. I'm a creator.
That's who
like
you
I'm
are.
I'm my own creation. I was just saying the other time, I was like, some women were made, but me myself, I'd like to think that I was created for a special purpose. And what's more special than this world?
I love that so much. And can I tell you what? It sounds like a tagline to like an advertisement.
It's Beyonce's song.
Oh no, my goodness, I thought
It's from
so.
Ego.
I was like, no man. I know this one. I was like, which one is it?
I know, right? It's like,
Yes.
I've heard this somewhere. It's Beyonce.
It's Beyonce, honey.
Beyonce. I love that. I relate to that line so much.
Yes, and I absolutely love that you do, because like I said, it speaks of standing in your power and in your truth. And Bae, I am so thankful to you for sitting down with us today. And before we go anywhere, and I want to wrap it up like this, because I think it's such an important question. A lot of us have been asking some of the incredible individuals that we have been able to sit down with, what does pride mean to you?
Pride to me means true personal power, authenticity, and the reinvigoration of the human race.
Yes.
That's what it means to me.
The gems have been dropped. The bars are within. Chloe, you are beautiful.
Thank you.
We love you. Thank you for being with us today, and please continue
pleasure.
being the person that you are.
Thank you so
that
much.
is allowing others to have a voice through you.
Thank you for having me, and
We appreciate you, Bae.
5FM, bringing the power to you.